Welcome everyone. This is the, oh, I'm a little bit high up. This is the Daily Code episode 23. I am Chris, and here we learn to do some interesting code stuff. So today I thought it would be fun to check out a thing called Pagekit, which is, as I understand it, a CMS that is built on top of Symfony components and looks awesome. I've tried it a few times before. I haven't in a couple months though, so I'm interested to see what's changed and what's improved, and I basically want to set something up with it. Now, being a CMS, it is mostly used to just manage page content and I guess used as a starter for blogs. It seems a little bit smaller in scale than things like Silverstripe or Joomla, but I want to experiment with it anyway, so I'm going to do that. I've gone ahead and I have downloaded the source code for this and extracted it, because basically you can click this download button or you can clone from GitHub and you'll pretty much get the same thing, which is a project folder full of source code. So there's I guess a custom auto load file. I tell you what I haven't done is composer install. So I'll do that quickly. So these dependencies are all listed in composer.json, and the last time I tried this, I tried to do a composer update instead of a composer install, and stuff broke horribly, and that was the very last time I tried it, and that's as far as I got into it, because that frustrated me. So hoping not to repeat those mistakes, I am going to just composer install and use the set versions that they have done here. Let me have a look. So these all look like stable release versions, which is pretty cool. No dev masters or unstable branches. So since this is the first time in a couple months that I've used this, I'm going to look at the installation instructions and just go like completely as a new user who's never used this before, and see how to get it running. That's it. Okay, installation. Looks like it'll run on the stuff that I have, but I'm probably going to try and use the personal web server instead of Apache, because that's a pain for me to set up. And other people have documented that stuff. Okay, so download it, extract it into something. Database. Oh, okay, so I probably need to set up a web server instance of this. So what's the last thing? Does that work? It's been a while since I've interesting. Okay, so is there a hold on. Why won't that tab autocomplete? Oh, that's not a directory! Silly me, that's not a directory. Okay, so the instructions say to set this up so that the htaccess is running. I really don't want to set up a hosts entry for this, but I guess I will. Okay, so sudo vim etc hosts. And this will be assertchris.io.dev, and then I have to edit the Apache config for this. vhosts. Oh. Okay, and I have some stuff for this, but I'm just going to copy one of these other entries. I'm running, what did that do? I'm running the default Apache instance that installs with macOS, which is not very well configured to begin with. So I've got to do like a few extra directives than normal. And this is where I wish I knew how to use Vim better. Source assertchris, assertchris.io. I'll just copy this. Okay, and I'll put this in the same place because that's useful. assertchris.io. Okay, I've just realized I haven't actually been looking at chat in a while. So if you have questions or anything, just ask them in chat, and if I don't forget to look at chat, I'll be able to answer that. Anyway, added the virtual host entry, and so last thing is sudo apache ctl restart, and now I should have assertchris io dev should work. Yes, it does. Okay. Fine. Let me open SQL Pro. Make it a bit smaller because smaller screen. Okay, so let's make a database here and call it assertchris.io. I guess. Thank you, Pagekit. Okay. English. What? I'm blind. English United States. Right below where I was. Sure. User, I'll just use system defaults that I have set up for this. By the way, don't leave root and no password. Don't take my advice, I'm not using it. Database name, assertchris.io. Table prefix, I'm not going to put in. Okay, what are the driver options here? Connection failed. That's encouraging. Do those details no longer work? That doesn't appear to work. Okay, fine. Site title, assertchris.io, username, admin. I'm going to put some defaults in here because you can't get to that even if you tried. Install, no. So this is an interesting installer. I definitely prefer the October CMS installer to this. Let's see, are you making tables? Yes, you are. I definitely prefer the October CMS installer to this. It's certainly prettier, but I don't really mind so much. I mean, this is prettier than other CMS installers I've used recently. It's taking a long time. What's all that about? I guess I can close that. I mean, I say it's taking a long time. It may not be. Should have had that open before I started installing. Because I think maybe, I don't know, PHP error, JavaScript error. If I go to this directory and open Atom up, I remember I set the error log up to this directory, so I should be able to see if anything weird is going on. Oh, not temp, not app. Error log. I'm blind. No errors. So why is this taking so long? No PHP errors. No JavaScript errors that I can see. This is just taking really long. And it's finished with the database. I'm guessing. Is it downloading a whole lot of stuff? Let's go have a look. What does this installer do? Okay, HT access. I assume this is going to rewrite everything to index. And then when we jump into index, we should load some of this nonsense. Okay, so packages, storage, paths, directory, environment, system. path app environment app. Okay, so this should be here and here. Okay, packages, modules, installer index, app installer index. That's interesting. Okay, so what does this do? Whoa, that's interesting. App on request. I wonder what this is running. New app, Pagekit application. I guess that's going to be in here. I mean, this is really weird. So vendor is put inside the app folder. System app. Oh wait, that's exactly where I was. Never mind. Source. What on earth? This is quite confusing to me, the structure that's laid out here. Okay, so Pagekit goes app, modules, application. Okay. Modules, application, source, application. Okay. Extends container. And container is in here. Implements array access. So it implements its own, I guess this is a dependency injection container or something like it. So that's interesting. Has this finished yet? Heavens, it's finished. Okay. Remember me. Okay, let's have a look at the database tables. It made one more. So that was a very long install process for what is, yeah, that's a very long install process, but I'm not going to trace it now. Again, right, so I should basically have a Pagekit site available on my local system, which is fine. So I can edit pages on this, I assume through site. There you go, I can edit pages on this. What does blog look like? Interesting. I wonder if this is a... I love how that option's not available there. What I'm trying to see at the moment... Okay, so this appears to work alright. And if I go to blog, there should be... I guess this is one blog entry. But what I'm trying to see here is what makes... Oh, I see. Type blog. But there's no way to specify that or to change the type. Do you have to create... If you create a page... It doesn't give you an option to say this is a blog type. Can you delete this? Status enabled. You can't delete this. That's interesting. I wonder how that code works then. I wonder how this code works. So it won't be, it'll be something like blog in here, I think. Maybe? Could it be application module? It doesn't seem to be that. What I'm looking for is the module that, the folder that has the blog module in it. Packages, Pagekit, blog. There we go. Okay, so what defines this? Package JSON. Okay, that's the Pagekit extension. Okay, Pagekit extension. So it obviously has some extra meaning for this stuff. For instance, if I go to scripts, install, okay, so that adds tables. Does it add a record? Doesn't appear to. What is this? What are these tables named again? Blog post. Why does this start with that? It's very interesting. Okay, so this stuff obviously gets run at certain hooks in Pagekit when the package is installed and uninstalled. And then I guess index is what loads this up. So you can have nodes. I guess this is what gets displayed in the site. And protected means you can't delete it, and front page means what exactly? I don't know what front page means. But that loads a controller, which I guess displays the rest of the blog content. And then the routes that go to those specific controllers that display comments and post stuff. The permissions that these things manage, which I guess the controllers pick up on. Menu? Is that this here? I guess that's this over here. Blog posts, blog comments, parent blog. Okay, so this is the main one. And then this has a parent of that blog, so these get displayed under that. So I assume if I click down into blog, what I'm going to see is, okay, posts, comments, and settings. So posts, comments, settings. Okay. And, oh, okay. And if we go to settings from here, no, never mind. Never mind. Okay, some config stuff. I don't know. That's interesting. The structure of this is interesting to me. But basically all it is a very lightweight, appears to be a very lightweight CMS where you can define pages, and it ships with a package called blog. And how that's defined is interesting, and how it hooks into the CMS is interesting. Now there's one more thing that I want to see before we go on a break, and that is what extensions are available here. Seems to be 2 pages of extensions. So one for analytics, which I'm going to install. Does this add this to Composer.json? Does this modify Composer.json to install that? Analytics. The way that this, unless it's just a require, doesn't actually save it, which would be kind of silly. That would be very silly actually, if that was the case. Packages, let's close this. Packages PHP, that's how it saves that. This is obviously doing a var export. It includes this, adds analytics with the dependency version, and then writes this file, a var export of the modules array, of the packages array. That's how it manages that. And then packages lock. Yeah, I wonder how it's generating this, if this is like a Composer side effect that it's doing. Anyway, it looks like it's installing a second version of Composer, or generating another autoloader from Composer here. It's interesting that it's doing that, and it's not altering the main composer.json file. Okay, so there's an extension blueprint. That's interesting as well. So I saw earlier when I logged in that you can, on the main Pagekit site, you can submit packages. And so this package extension is obviously a way that you can, a blueprint is a way that you can make your package and submit it there, and they'll obviously review it or something. I just wanted to check what, okay, so form maker is similar, is like a user forms thing, I'm guessing. I'll install that and check it out as well. Oh, it's locking up. This does take a little while. Thanks to the stream. Are there any questions so far about the stuff? I'm having a lot of fun discovering what Pagekit's about. Install. Anyway, let's refresh a few times here and try and get some analytics worked out. Has this added any tables? I wonder if it's a Google Analytics thing. If we head back into the dashboard and see. So, system. Doesn't seem to do anything. Info. Nah, that's not useful. I'm trying to find where the analytics are set up. Is it back in dashboard? Do you have to add a widget for analytics? Oh, that's interesting. So the whole UI of the analytics is through the dashboard. And you authenticate, obviously, I would imagine. You authenticate so that this does analytics API stuff. That's interesting. I'll bin this because I don't want to add this right now. Also, I'll bin this because I don't want Pagekit news either. And Hamburg is definitely not where I am. It's obviously where the developers are. Okay, form makers on and enabled. Site, I should be able to add a form page type. No. Widgets. How does this work? Add page, sign up. Okay, I'll figure that out later. We're going to take a quick break quickly. If that wasn't if that wasn't obvious enough. I'm going to put some music on. I'll see you in a minute or two.